in a file, word for word, but it ain't working.
All right. Well, we're live right now, so let's verify that password letter by letter. Oh man, we got to. Oh, you know what? We're live only on the video. All right, so we'll figure this out. We got Venison on the Skype. We got Lulu with us here, and I am on screen twice because Brian hasn't joined in yet. But that's okay. That's okay.
Now you were supposed to send me this info, on Twitter DM,
I did.
and no, he's not here. All I got was, as I said, special devices, laughing my ass off, and you said what you think. That's all that came through.
I said server name is thething.com. Gave you the TCP and UDP ports.
It's not here.
Hold on, I'll do it.
All right, I just sent you a DM through Twitter that says venison is old. Did that go through?
Let's see. It just said now.
Yeah, and it says 8:03 p.m. with a check mark after it.
Oh, there it was.
Yeah, I didn't send it to the group room. I sent it to you.
Hi, everyone.
No.
This is where we talk about, a senile person trying to figure out electronics.
See now my ass.
I've always said a good replacement sport would be screen capturing an old person's computer while the IT person tries to talk them through changing a password.
Venison,
we got.
I found
and
someone worse than you.
The password is correct.
The what now?
The password is correct. Oh.
All right.
I think I said a little bit.
Did you change the bottom port to a 4?
Oh, I don't think I changed my streaming title. Okay. All right, we're gonna make the streaming title this week. Let's see. Now with
That was an issue with me.
4 more inches. There we go. Update
4
all.
more inches.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. So I was browsing Facebook Marketplace, right? We're going to talk about browsing Facebook Marketplace. But first, I need to get logged into the NHP Messenger and get the NHP streams up and going. And then we got to figure out, where's Brian at? Usually we do that by calling him.
Hey, Venison.
Eh?
I found someone who's worse than you. On
Really?
Facebook. Oh, yes. And I think you guys should meet.
This could be a very dangerous thing.
Oh, he would have a field day with
All right.
this guy.
All right. When you say we should get these two people to meet, my thought is, which one is the key master and which one's the gatekeeper?
Let's see. Put that in. Take out the space on that.
All right.
Now let's try it. Ah! Oh, man.
Oh,
Perfect.
Venison can run circles around him.
Venison is
Okay.
on the server, but he's created his own room called Amateur Hour without a space. So now he just needs to double click on the Amateur Hour with a space.
That's the way you put it in the DM.
But you don't have to type that in anywhere. You just have to click on it once you join the server. Hello, Brian.
Well, yes. You like my image?
I'm not seeing your image yet. Let me pull up your image. Do you have an image?
Exactly.
You have no image.
It's my special devices.
You're without image. Your image is
So you
zero.
never said that XSplit
There.
doesn't work with Team Talk.
Did we talk about XSplit?
Never mentioned it. You didn't say why you abandoned it. Because you said that Kristen uses it.
No, Kristen uses OBS to stream. I use XSplit as a virtual webcam. I've never tried using XSplit as a virtual webcam with Team Talk. My guess would be you could probably make it work, but I also know that Team Talk is finicky about the webcams. So
Well,
this,
when you go down and look at preferences, take my glasses off since you can't see.
wow, this
You
is
go to video capture.
welcome to help desk of the show.
That's
And
better.
you drop down
I'm
video
just sitting
capture
back eating.
device,
You can do all those.
and easy camera is the only thing there.
Who's calling what now?
And Ox, what the hell did you look for that for?
We're very
So
sorry,
anyway,
people. We'll
I'll
try to do a
have
show
to-
next week, but if you need to go to sleep,
Apparently,
stay
just
tuned.
kill XSplit and tell it to go away.
All right. So you're going into this.
So, this is why we have a pre-show.
I
Exactly.
do always make an
Although
effort.
I kind of wanted to do this during the show. What the hell, right?
Uh,
Let's just experiment and go frickin' crazy.
So you mean to tell me that when you go to your video capture tab and you go to your video capture devices that XSplit Broadcaster is an option in that drop down.
It wasn't.
Oh, did we lose a call somewhere?
What that was? Am I
I
still
don't
there?
know.
I don't even know what that was.
I closed the Skype.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I guess I have to turn this light on. I don't want to because my head's hurting.
Bear with us, people. We will be starting a show at some point here, and like I
No,
said,
Just move on.
we have
Right?
4 whole
Yeah,
extra
I gotta
inches.
do all this stuff while I'm drunk as hell. Ah.
Oh, poor venison.
Yeah, I tried the 151 rum
You know,
and hadn't gotten around to figuring out how much of it
So
should I
apparently,
use.
even though I turn off XSplit, it says, "Nah, you're not there." So I'm gonna have to disconnect
hmm
and go again.
okay.
XSplit, what the hell is that?
It's a software. It's an app. It allows you.
It's when you tell software to do hardware duties.
It's like OBS, but it's free with a watermark and heavily limited. But for a monthly subscription, you can get the pro versions that don't have the watermark and let you stream in stereo and stuff like that. It's something I strictly use as my webcam device on the Dunham Johnny show on Sundays, 6 to 8 Eastern. NHVRadio.com, and that
now,
is
Kristen uses the Elgato device, right?
she uses Elgato for a game capture device, although it's been giving her some problems with the PlayStation 3, and she uses OBS to stream. But OBS doesn't have a webcam share feature. XSplit will let you will show up as a webcam
Poor
device.
Lulu was already bored.
No, I'm pushing out
We
the,
like-
I'm pushing out the damn stream so that way we actually get views and some people watching.
Oh, you're telling people to go watch us?
Yes.
There's this foreign
Awesome.
concept to us called promotion that eludes us every week,
No, what do you mean every week? All the time.
all the time.
Although at the end of the show, you promote other shows.
I do.
In case there was one person that was still on that could see that.
You know what our most viewed
And
episode
weird
is?
programs nobody ever heard of.
What?
Our most viewed episode is the episode where we ranted about AutoZone sucking for 3 hours. That's our most viewed episode because it has a search term that people actually type into YouTube every now and then. And when people see a video called AutoZone sucks, they tend to click on it and proceed to hear us trying to call an AutoZone to ask them about their warranty features while my audio keeps glitching out. I don't know how far they get before they send the comment in that says, "Hey, you suck," but
it must be pretty soon.
Pretty soon, I would imagine. And we did also leave the district manager a lengthy message about my sincerity and my offer to send him diagrams of different ways he could fuck himself with a crowbar with no lube. And he.
Oh, have you seen anal fisting? That stuff is real, man. They've gone like elbow deep.
Fisting always makes me think of laughter.
Oh, dude. Nah.
Sounds like a colonoscopy.
No, well,
an elephant fisting.
No,
That's not even elephant fisting.
There was one time when I was.
If you've seen the video.
I don't want to see the video. I've seen fisting.
There was a time I was doing a show and someone was filling in for someone, and so I was doing a show with Addie, and I think it was like the only time that Addie and I have done a show together just without Gabe or without Dune or anything like that. And so Addie, of course, decides the appropriate thing to do while we're doing a show is to send me fisting porn pictures. And Addie was quite delighted to hear the immense laughter coming from my lovely wife when she happened to walk into the room while the fisting picture was up on my screen.
Yeah, that's Addie, of course.
Okay, I'm going to disconnect and try back without SBS going.
All right, very good.
Without the talk of fisting. The elephant really enjoyed it.
Okay, sometimes they have to do that to get the poop out of their rectum.
No, in this case, it was to get a sperm sample.
Oh, so they were like rubbing it.
Oh, they were massaging the prostate, and yeah.
Yep. And the strangest thing I ever saw, was the elephant knew what they were doing. They went, because the elephant think it's prehensile. They, put a garbage bag.
What do you mean that doesn't exist?
They put a garbage bag underneath it, and the dick actually inserted itself into the garbage bag and shot its load.
Yeah,
Holy
but
shit, that happens on this show.
Anyways, thank you for sticking around to the opening of the show, which we call
Insert Title Here.
The show that changes names so frequently because we've been canceled. People tune into the show and we get canceled. That's and so we just change the name of the show and go, no, we have nothing to do with that show. We're a whole other show. And so we just keep
Insert title here.
Inserting different titles every week there, apparently. I don't know. I'm making
have
fisting here.
Insert fisting here.
This week it's Insert Fist Here is the name of the show. And there are many places one could insert a fist. One of my favorite Doug Stanhope jokes is the joke about the guy with the green screen. No. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Hey!
Wow. Video Ed sound.
Yeah.
So you were doing green screen
and
stuff.
I have a lot of green behind me.
So you were trying to use the green screen with XSplit, but XSplit won't work with the Team Talk, and so we just had to look at you sitting in front of green.
Oh, and also the I did get it going, but the overlap on the green screen is all jittery.
Yeah. XSplit is one of those softwares that you get what you pay for. It's kind of good at a lot of different things, but it ain't no professional green screen software.
Apparently, they have a separate product called VCam. So XSplit VCam is what they do for green screen.
Ah.
So maybe I'll download that and try that and see if it'll work with whatever. It's horseshit.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, I found ways to kind of make it acceptable because I do use that on the Dune and Johnny show on Sundays, 6/8 Eastern
Yeah.
on hbradio.com. And
Do you just set chroma key to green and that works?
well, actually, I'm trying to. I'd have to open up.
Or do you use the eyedropper to pick a color?
I kind of use the
You know, 'cause yours is a
eyedropper.
different green than mine.
Yeah, I've used the I've done both ways. I forget where I have it set right now, and we can go over that offline sometime. You know what? We could start.
Right. We like technical stuff. It's just that you know, Lulu and Venison don't apparently
Well,
care for that.
I don't mind technical stuff. I just can't do it while I'm using the camera in a different software. Because for
Wait,
some reason,
Okay,
What?
no, that's fine. I was just giving you
No,
some
no, no,
crap.
no. I care about technical stuff. I just don't care about talking about it every fucking show.
Sure.
you
sure.
like technical stuff. You just don't like Brian's technical stuff. That's
There you go. That's fair.
hey,
You
we're
know,
all
Hey, honesty sucks, right? So live with it.
Oh, there we goes.
we're
You
ball
finally came
busters
on
here.
screen.
We are ball busters here, is what we are. I should
Oh God, no.
I should bring up the chats because I don't know if anyone's been chatting or not, but I
have.
oh, okay. Well, we are working our way over to bring up the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat and see what you all have to say, because you're probably going to want to know what's the deal with these 4 extra inches that suddenly Gators has. How did Gators get 4 more
what?
inches? And
4 extra inches.
yes, and I will tell you my secret to getting 4 extra inches for the low price of $49.95 a month. Is
Oh my God. I don't think we want to know.
no, well, here's the story. So you all know I have in my basement in pieces a 12-inch 1949 Zenith porthole TV that I just do not have the skills to fix up, but I just can't help myself because
Just let the cats play in it.
Yeah.
no,
While
it,
it's
Just-
on.
just-
it
Just let
needs
the cats play in it,
it
dude.
needs to be fixed and used again. It's a TV.
No, it
See
doesn't.
The parts are
no, it
there.
doesn't.
It's
the
got a
tweets
good
about cat
tube.
fighting.
Uh,
Lulu,
What?
cat fighting videos. Never
No.
mind. I'm sorry. I just walked right over you, Johnny. Too bad.
that's okay. That's okay. You all got to
Always
get
walk
So
over
you.
Johnny.
Okay, let's go back on the your
right. So I had that TV, and I've not.
aquarium.
I've not done a whole lot with it, but I do have a drawer full of capacitors, and I have tested the tubes and all that type of stuff. But that's about it, which is really not that much. And I was
So your skill is limited because you're not good with soldering.
I'm not good with soldering. I'm not good at reading complicated schematics and understanding how that equates to actual electronic, because I mean schematics to me are like if you took a map but you made everything into a grid and go nowhere in this near the same direction as everything goes, you know?
It's like baking something and just having so many ingredients. You're gonna go. I don't even know what these stuff is for.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
You want cayenne pepper and
Or what the
a
components are.
Right. I understand.
jicama?
I understand schematics. I understand the concept of capacitors and resistors and the symbols for them, and I understand the premise that the schematic is a blueprint for a device. It's just that when you're looking at an actual device and you're looking at a schematic, those two things don't correspond visually. So how do you keep you know, it's
Well, and it's difficult to trace a circuit.
right.
You know, you get these test probes, and you touch this, and you know, you hope that your probe doesn't blow up.
It's also TV repair of those vintage TVs was a trade, a skill you trained in, something that you learned. I don't know.
Oh, wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was a profession.
Not for me.
Oh, sure.
And well, you learned working with other people. You picked up things on the job. You learned how to do this stuff. And you didn't.
On the job, no.
You didn't learn in a
know,
vacuum
but
all by
Medicine
yourself.
So there were jobs that you learned.
Yes, I
skills,
did.
Right?
All right. Where did
I can read a schematic, and I can see where the components are, etc., etc.
how did you learn to read a schematic?
Well, back when I was about 14, and went to the library and pick up the electronic component circuit book.
Okay,
Well, was it a beginner's or did you just start out as a master's?
Oh yeah, that book was pretty much a master thing, but I figured out what the components were. Looks it up someplace. Said this is a resistor, this is a capacitor, that sort of thing,
okay.
and it worked.
Now, some people can teach themselves skills like TV repair from a book, and some people can't. I've picked up a lot of things from books, but I kind of feel like if you really want to, for me, if I really want to learn how to really fix up a TV, it would be so much easier if I had a mentor.
Like, could you master music from a book?
Well, also the 2 years of electronics and psych in high school and the Navy did help.
Yeah, because you did electronics with the Navy, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. So, in fact, I knew a guy that picked up his electronics with the Air Force. Came into our shop and he looked at some of the designs that were done by other people. These were just circuit boards for a computer. And he would look at him and says, okay, this is why you're getting all this noise in here. So he knew what he was doing where the guy that made the board made some mistakes. So he fixed them. So we got better products.
That's cool. So anyways, OX64 acknowledging a 1949 12-incher. Yes, 1949 12-inch Zenith console Bortle TV. Beautiful TV. There is some wear and tear on the finish of the cabinet, but it has a working picture tube that is tested as working.
So you're going to sell this on eBay, right?
No, I'm going to eventually fix it up one of these days. But then
He's gonna make it into a cat tree.
No, I'm not. This thing, it's got a working picture tube.
A cat aquarium.
You can't. You have to fix it. You're like obligated to fix it up if it has a working picture
No,
tube.
you're not.
Yeah, well.
Oh, by
whatever.
the way, Oxfield had to retype that link again for Brian
Anyways,
because Johnny didn't see it in time.
I didn't see the link. First, the chat room won't show me history. Anyways,
It says,
so I was browsing.
Sorry, a link for what, Venison?
saying try this in lieu of a green screen.
Oh, he's got a green screen suggestion. Okay.
Yep.
We will get that link over to Brian once it comes through again. So I was browsing Facebook Marketplace, which is a dangerous thing to do. And, a lot
What
of...
did you buy?
another TV.
You know what? You can buy some good lumpia.
What's
You
that?
can buy some good You can buy some good lumpia on the Facebook Marketplace.
So I was browsing the antique electronics. Some what?
You say lumpia?
Lupia.
Yeah, lumpia.
Is that?
Yeah.
Do you smoke that?
That's a Filipino delight.
Yeah, it's Filipino egg rolls.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
I didn't
When you
know
want
that.
something nice and greasy, get lumpia.
Okay, I will remember that.
You can also buy tamales.
Tamales. Yeah, remember there was a woman at Tharco that made, once in a while, would make some tamales?
Dear God, Tharco.
What was her name?
You know, Lulu here loves Tharco so much. One of these days, we need to, take her on a field trip
No. No,
we'll
you
introduce
don't.
her to all our friends. We'll show her the corrugator and all the machines, and her and Jose can talk about
No.
tamales. And I don't know.
No.
No. My farm
Uh-oh.
still
But
works
Jose
there.
didn't come up with tamales.
I don't-
It was
I don't know. Oh, your sound cut out.
obviously
Oh,
Hispanic
there it is.
woman.
Then
So you
they'll
know
go
they're
3
authentic.
hours talking about
I don't remember who brought in tamales. I just remember that there was 1 month out of the year that the birthday celebration was a breakfast, and that was always a really good breakfast monthly celebration because you had like the scramble with the hash and all that stuff and the that was always a good birthday celebration month.
Yeah.
Anyways, what? Lulu's not enjoying the idea of a breakfast birthday celebration.
Who's talking about a grandpa?
I'm not talking about.
Grandpa.
I'm not talking about Grant. Who's talking? What the heck are you? What show are you tuned into?
And Ox, put that link back up.
Venison! The hell's in your background?
But
What do you mean?
Venison likes to use a room mic that picks up every little sound and noise that's in a 5 mile radius. So we get the.
The volume was extremely low. It was, soft muted.
OX sent in a link to the Team Talk room, so I will go ahead and I will paste that over into our Team Viewer, our Team Talk chat, and I'm sure that doesn't bring up Tub Girl or anything like that. Anyways,
Oh, fuck!
Well, anyway, that reminded me that I changed it to the Science Channel.
so I was browsing the Facebook Marketplace, right? Tune in at 10 o'clock to hear about my Facebook Marketplace browsing. Okay, wow, I actually get to talk about this. Okay, cool. So I was browsing the Facebook Marketplace, and I'm looking at all the antique electronics, and I see a lot of things usually that I don't want to buy. Things that look ugly, or things that are not the right vintage, or things that are like 80s TVs, and who needs a TV from the 80s? I don't need a TV from the 80s. You don't need a TV. We had a TV from the 80s when I was growing up. The Transformer broke on it, and I said, that's fine. I never watched the Transformers. And my brother said, no, I watched the Transformers. So we had to buy a new TV with a working Transformer in it just so my brother could watch Transformers on a Saturday morning. But that's not the story I came here to tell you about.
I would have argued about that too.
Yeah. A lot of times I see a decent Zenith Portal TV and I pass on it because a lot of them have a cabinet doors that close. And what's the point of having a Zenith porthole TV if the doors close and hide it? I want to show that thing off. And if you take the doors off, then you got like holes where the hinges should go. It doesn't look right, so I specifically need to have a model that doesn't have doors if I'm going to, even consider buying it. So usually that spares me. It's like, oh, that's really
So
nice.
You don't want to hide this TV from guests.
Right. I want them to see it. What's the point of having a Zenith porthole TV in your living room if it's hiding behind doors?
Because you can't open the doors.
Yeah, but then that's like, hey, come here and look at it, and that's a thing, that's kind of nice in itself. But I want to see it. I want to see it all the time.
Topic over. Close the doors.
Are you kidding? The people that come over and look at it and say, "What the fuck have you got that for?"
Oh, people love these things. So
And they say, yeah, boy, I bet you could get a lot of money for it on eBay.
you could. So I'm browsing the Facebook.
Okay, so now you have a second one.
So I'm browsing the Facebook Marketplace, and I see this beautiful Zenith porthole TV. It's a 16-inch screen TV, the big one, and it doesn't have doors on it, and the finish only has minor cosmetic problems. It was cared for. It was taken care of. And I flipped through the pictures. The people that are selling this TV, man, did they have some balls, because they took that janky crack cord and plugged it in and turned it on and took a picture of snow coming up on the screen. It still turns on, and it's never been restored. So there you go. So I was like, okay, that's a good. All right, what's going on here?
Klingon.
Why are we doing this?
Lulu.
Why are we doing this?
I don't
Because
know.
I can't.
Lulu started it, so I said, well, I'll be a Klingon.
Okay, all right.
Huh?
Hey, by the
Please
way, Lulu, do
continue.
you know what steampunk is?
Yes.
I just learned about it the other day from one of my game groups.
Really?
It's actually quite interesting.
It is. It's cool stuff. I just never knew that term before.
Huh?
You know, science fiction, Jules Verne, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
When all the high-tech stuff was steam-powered.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually a TV anime movie.
Oh, steampunk?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I didn't know that either. See?
So
No.
So at the end, when I tell you what I learned, it was more about steampunk.
anyways,
In case I forget.
I've brought a picture up of the newly acquired TV, and
Oh, we're still on that topic. Good.
well, I haven't finished the story yet.
Wait a minute. That's the new one?
This is the new one.
It's
It looks
just same,
exactly like
just
the
like the
old
same
one.
as the old one.
No, it doesn't.
You know, it's like the Who song, right?
Why did you have your fingers over your head?
We were all doing it. Why didn't you?
Right. Why don't you get a camera? You know, actually,
You'll
my
never
brother
know.
has an older Logitech camera that would be perfect for you. I forgot to ask him about the interface, but I think he has the box, and I think he has the model number, and we could get you on camera.
I don't
And we
think
don't
you
care
wanna
if you
do
don't have
that.
pants on.
All right, so now I have to find a picture of the old TV to show you how
Or
different they look,
underpants.
because they don't look exactly the same.
Okay, I'm gonna have to switch to the YouTube deal
All right.
and wait for that to pop in.
Well, I'm still trying to find it because I didn't realize I was going to have to pull that up during the show. But I think if I go into my
Next time, you'll have to take a picture of both of them side by side.
Okay, there we go.
Dude, you picked the topic and you weren't ready for it.
Well, the topic is this TV, not the other TV.
Well, but part of the question is, how does it compare to the old one? Other than that this one works.
Well, it doesn't exactly work. It turns on briefly.
Without going into flame?
We'll talk about that.
Oh!
There's a story coming up here. You are delaying the part of the story where I nearly burned the house down, and maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe I'm exaggerating that a little.
There we go. Truth comes out.
You almost burnt the house down.
No, I didn't. There was no flames. There was no smoke. There were some smells. But that's okay. But that's to
Well,
be
was it-
expected when turning on a 70-year-old TV that's never been
That's right,
restored.
because you have to burn off the 70 years worth of dust on it, right?
Yeah, that does gotta.
Hi, Zoe.
All right, so this is the
And
one.
kill any accumulated viruses.
So
And cockroach.
So-
Oh my.
so here they are side by side. So you can see one's got a 12-inch screen, the
Holy
other
crap,
one's got a
now I have to go back
16-inch
to the
screen.
other.
Yeah,
Wow,
there
it's
you
a bigger
go.
screen.
yeah, it's a bigger
And
screen.
one is taller.
I've upgraded.
No. Yeah, taller.
I've upgraded. Well, narrower.
So bigger speaker?
I don't know. I haven't compared the size of the speakers. I haven't measured them. I mean, this one's got a slightly bigger cabinet, 4-inch bigger screen, and like I said, it turns on.
Fit a fatter cat.
Fit a fatter cat. Well, we have a fatter cat because Shaniko won't stop eating, and won't stop meowing for us to sit next to her while eating. So
She
there.
needs the comfort.
There's a simple solution to that.
Yeah.
Limit what you give to the cat.
But then we'd have to be responsible for feeding them. We feed them wet food once a day. We let them have their crunchies as they please.
Or you can
Don't give your cat a heart attack.
Oh, they're fine. If the vet tells us to stop it, we'll stop it. They were fine the last checkup. We'll see how they weigh in the next one. Anyways, so those are my two Zenith porthole TVs, as you can see, and they're beautiful, especially the new big one that I just picked up. And so
By the way, do you have a scale for your cats?
the vet does.
Did you get a Fitbit for him?
No. So
yeah.
So no, you buy the Fitbit.
And I, Zoe Balls.
You buy the Fitbit. You strap it to the dog. You take the dog out in the backyard, play fetch with it a bunch, and then you put the Fitbit back on and say, "Wow, look at how many steps I did today." That's how the Fitbit works, right?
Right.
Oh, wow.
So I knew that it would turn on because the listing included a picture of it turned on with snow on the screen. So when I got it home, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, I want to turn it on. But I didn't want to plug in the janky cord with the frayed wires exposed because I don't have the kahunas that the person that sold it to me has to actually plug that in and take that picture of it turned on and not burning down their house and all their possessions, everything. So I took the back off the TV, took off the cord, threw it out while saying peanut brittle, because that's what the guy on YouTube did when he cut off the old cord that was cracked and threw it out. And I was following instructions from YouTube, so I did as they do. And I attached a new cord, which was perfectly fine. Put the back on the TV, which was perfectly fine. Plugged in the cord, turned on the power switch, and I got snow. I got snow on my TV, which I got a picture of my TV getting in snow that I am showing right here on the screen right now. So if you all want to see, yay, snow comes in. And if I fiddle the knobs, sometimes it would just show one really bright line in the middle. But if I fiddle the knob a little more, it would expand back out and show me snow. I do think the snow is flickering, so I think there are probably issues with the vertical hold circuitry at the very least. And I said, hey, Kristen, check it out. It turns on. And Kristen came downstairs. She goes, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm like, yeah, if you go around to the back of the TV, you can see all the tubes glowing. She's like, oh, that's cool. And then all of a sudden she said, oh, I don't think that's supposed to be doing that. And I'm like, what? And I look at the screen, and the screen is kind of like pulsing, flashing bright white lights. And Kristen goes, one of the tubes is getting really bright. I'm like, which one? Oh, it's in the area in the bottom. That's the power supply. And so I quick turn the knob and click it off. And the screen continues flashing and flashing and flashing, even though I've turned it off. So I pulled the plug out, and the flashing stopped. And there were no flames, but there was a little bit of a smell. But then again, that could be the thing heating up with all the dust inside of it. Nothing went pop. The flyback transformer didn't go poof. The CRT didn't stop displaying things. So I don't think I did any damage doing that, but it probably wasn't a smart idea. But, I had to have a little fun with my TV, didn't I?
You rectified.
Well, there was one video I was watching. This was several years ago, where a guy got this small guitar amp that was tube based.
Mm-hmm.
The best sound. He plugged it in, and you could see the glow through the speaker fabric.
Oh, that's not how much you're supposed to.
And then, of course, it all caught on fire.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that's a little more glow than you're supposed to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Zoe Ball says hi to Johnny Gators and co-host and all. Hello, Zoe. Hello,
Dune, Zoe.
And Dune points out, by the way, Johnny used the word janky on the show this weekend. Yes. When a cord is all cracked and brittle and frayed wires, the only word I can think of to describe a cord like that is janky.
Ow!
And why did you Scooby-Doo?
What's that?
been watching Scooby Doo, haven't you?
I don't know where I picked that up from. I just know that a cord that's like that is janky. How would you
Boy, they
describe?
use that word on Scooby Doo.
That's what Thelma would say once in a while to Steve. Jankies.
OX.
No, she said jinkies.
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 That's jinkies. Janky as in like not good, as in
Close enough.
problematic.
No, it's
Well,
not.
and it depends on the accent, right?
It could.
Yeah.
There are regional variations to the word
I-
since it's.
I think janky and jinkies are not exactly related.
No, janky means that it's a piece of shit.
Right. OX64 writing in, replacing the cord was a great start. It saved me from burning the house down. But all the
But-
caps definitely need to be replaced, and then tubes checked at minimum before powering on. Yeah, I do have a tube tester, so that I'll probably go through and test those. Changing the caps, I need to do that. I agree that needs to be done before powering it on.
What's
really?
the water of your soldering iron?
What's the what?
Wattage.
I don't know. It gets hot.
Mm.
Well,
I realize that
All
was
I
the thing
could
is,
find
people
was-
go, "Oh, the higher the wattage, the better," and the answer
Yeah,
is
all I
not
could find
really.
was 25 water.
I
Yeah,
real
25 would be good. 15 might also be even better. You get
No.
a finer point to it.
let's see.
You don't think so, Venison?
It's got a point to it.
I bought a Vastar soldering iron station, anti-static soldering iron station kit with on-off switch, temperature adjustable. Adjustable
Whoa,
temperature
gee
analog
whiz.
soldering station produces temperatures up to 480 degrees Celsius to handle many soldering projects. The variable power cord knob adjusts from power from 5 watts to 60 watts to ensure precision. Using internal thermal ceramic heating element, higher efficiency and long life. You know, it was a $36 special off of Amazon, and
Mr. Fancy Elite.
well, I have
Wow, the guy's got money. I mean, I use a cheap Radio Shack one.
I've had cheaper ones and they suck. So I finally decided I need to buy something a little bit better, but I'm not going to go like nuts. So, you know, I
Well,
figured.
the secret is.
Mhm.
Well, the other
I-
secret. So the one secret is 25 watts is plenty.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The other secret is always keep your tip clean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Clean
I
tips
used
are always
30.
good.
Well,
I had the Radio Shack 32 water. That thing was great until it burned out.
yeah. Well, I've had
that's what happens.
I've had a few things. I mean, well, I bought like a cheap soldering iron from the hardware store, and the problem is the cheap one that was on the shelf there was a battery powered one, which is cool because you don't have a cord, but it goes through AA batteries in 5 minutes. So then I got the one.
I got mine from Walmart.
Yeah, a battery powered soldering iron is like
Walmart sells soldering irons.
Yeah, believe it or not.
What
25
is it, like
water.
in the craft section?
So this thing came with multiple tips, and you know it has a holder, so that's handy, and temperature adjustment, and you know a little sponge which helps to kind of get the stuff off the tip, and it did come with a little tin that has stuff in it for
Do
cleaning
you get
the
the
tips.
sponge? Do you get your sponge wet?
Yes, I get my sponge wet. I also
Good.
dampen the sponge with the soldering iron.
You know the best way to clean the soldering iron when you're done?
What's that?
Swirl it in the toilet.
No.
You know it's nice and hot, and you go. It's clean as a whistle.
You don't any water basin will do. You don't need to dip it in the toilet.
Yeah, but then you don't have to clean out the water basin. All you do is flush. You go.
Anyways, so yeah, I got a soldering iron.
These are secrets you're gonna learn right here.
OX writing in battery powered soldering iron WTFFFFFFFFF.
Exactly.
And then he also said, ew. Yeah, well, I learned my
On the
lesson.
toilet idea.
I learned my lesson, and that's why I bought something better the next time. So,
Now you have multiple tips, correct?
yeah.
So you have the little round tip and you have a chisel tip. Which one do you like best?
I've been using kind of a little round tip.
He
Yeah.
likes the one that looks like a nipple.
Well, it all depends on the
Pointy one.
Well, it depends on the shape and the size of the nipple, really.
Right.
I mean, some people have chiseled nipples, right? That's normal, right?
I guess.
No, I'm kidding. I kid.
Don't show yours.
And
Peters, do you have a third nipple?
no, I don't.
Sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. I think I would notice. I really think I would notice that. Anyways, I have made a fun little discovery this week. Now.
What?
Oh, I have nothing more to. Does anyone have anything more to say about my TVs? This is the last chance to get a good shot in. So if anyone,
So
else...
when are you gonna put them on eBay? Now that you got two.
never.
Now you're gonna take parts from one and put it in the other?
Craigslist.
I'm-
Craigslist is better.
I'm not planning on doing that, but I suppose, you know what? I might do that for like tubes because I could always buy replacement tubes. So it's like, hey, I have this tube here now, and then I can get a tube for that one later. But I did not. Both of these are TVs that I believe are restorable and should be restored. So I don't think I have anything that I would consider to be a parts unit. But
Now, as far as you can tell, is
You
it
know.
the same? Is it the same circuit?
no. This one's a 1950 TV. The other one's a 1949. So I think there's probably a lot of similarities, but they did make improvements in the
Now, do you have the
1950
schematics
lines.
for this new one?
I do have the schematics. Someone on the Antique Radio forums was nice enough to respond to my, hey, look at what I bought. I need help. Anyone got schematics? And he said, sure, I'll email them to you. And he emailed them to me. So I do have the schematics for this one.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
I do. I might be able, and it already turns on. So that's a pretty good start. But
So I take it the schematics are in a PDF file or something?
yeah. I got a PDF. I got the what is it he sent me? He sent me a rider sheet for that chassis. And so that includes some diagrams and schematics. Although it's a little confusing.
So this is back when TVs had chassis. Now the modern ones are
You broke up there. The modern ones have what now?
unibody.
This okay.
Yeah, one
Mixed
big
technology.
PC board.
That was for Lulu.
Thank you.
At least she provides entertainment periodically to this very.
I think I missed something.
She burped, and it was quite impressive.
Oh.
They bring entertainment.
Oh, Lulu, why
So-
would you do that?
So Lulu's volume could probably go up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you could always adjust that on your in your headphones.
Is that better?
TeamViewer has, TeamTalk has those abilities. Yeah, that's good.
Is that better?
For each individual person?
If you right click,
Right.
if you right click on the person, there's a. Oh wait, I'm using the old client, but maybe the new one still has it. There should be a volume option.
The thing says to either save the image file or flip the image.
How about now?
Well, that's too loud.
Oh man.
No, I'm talking about in the chat room, not on the camera.
I didn't do it in the camera.
I'm talking to Brian.
And Lulu, that's disturbing.
Cause I was adjusting levels on my end.
Oh yeah.
So now I gotta turn you down a little.
In the chat room, you said?
Why don't we join the stream early next week and talk the tech stuff out, and we'll continue with our topics right now.
Which is?
Well, you know, it's funny, Lulu, that you should drop the word twink in the chat room. Because I was watching an episode of Archie's Place before we connected to do the show. You all remember Archie's Place?
Barely.
You know, it was a very uplifting show, all about how Archie's wife died, and that was sad for him.
Archie.
I think that's what Archie's Place was most known for, was for killing off Edith. I think that's the one thing it's mostly been remembered
Archie,
for.
no.
And they couldn't even do they did it between seasons. But
Archie, right there.
By the way, Johnny.
yeah,
Yes, I understand the names in the left column, which for some dumbass reason they call chat.
yeah.
There is a setting for volume that you can change for each individual.
Right. Cool. So anyways,
So now Lulu, when she talks, she'll be blowing my eardrum out.
yay! Anyways, so I was watching an episode of Archie's Place, and it was this episode where Archie and
Archie's as in Archie and Jughead?
Archie Bunker.
Okay, and where are we going with this?
Well, I'm wondering. There was a line censored at the end of the episode, and it was really weird because they used that same word earlier in the episode. And
what word was that?
Finally caught it.
they censored the word fag. And
Damn.
yeah. Well, what happened was Archie and Barney and what's the bartender's name? And the bartender, they all decide that they're going to go out for a night in the town celebrating their friendship. Well, the two of them talk Archie into it. So they go to this one bar after a game. Like they go to a game, they go to the one bar, and Barney and the bartender, they all go try to pick up chicks who just shoot them down. And this one chick sits down, sitting next to Archie, and basically propositions him because she's a prostitute, which of course Archie is pissed off about, and like, let's get out of here. So they go to another bar, and they're having a good time there. And Barney's like, I'm going to go, put some money in the jukebox. The bartender goes to shoot some pool. Another guy joins him there. And this guy's sitting down talking to Archie. And, of course, I immediately noticed that there are only dudes in this bar. But these three guys seem to be oblivious to there are only dudes in this bar. And next thing you know, the bartender guy who's shooting pool, the guy he's shooting pool with is kind of getting a little close to him to show him how to angle the pool cue properly. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, well, if you don't want that, why are you here? And that's when he realized, oh shit, it's that type of bar. I better go tell Archie before he figures it out.
And he thought they were all motorcycle guys because they were all wearing leather, right?
No, they all looked normal, actually. It was a very normal looking bar. It wasn't over the top. It was tastefully done. So Archie is arm wrestling with another guy that he thinks is just a normal guy, which of course he's a normal guy, but I mean he doesn't realize the place that he is. And so he's like, hey, Archie, I got to tell you something. No, man, I'm busy. Archie, got to. And so he whispers into Archie's ear, this is a fag bar. And Archie's like, what fag bar? And it yells out like that, and then they get out of there. But at the end of the episode, they're all sitting at the table back at Archie's place talking about things or whatever. And one guy makes some sort of a comment like, oh, looks like this place is turning into one of those fag bars or something like that. But they censored out the word fag that time. And I'm like, wait a minute. I understand that they're considering that to be inappropriate in this day and age, and that they didn't want that line on there because it could be considered a slur. But Archie shouted that out at the last place they were at, and they didn't censor it there. Is that now a rule on TV that you only get one fag per episode? How does
now? Do you think it was censored from the original broadcast?
I don't think so.
Or
I don't think so.
The later rendition.
I don't think it. I think the later rendition censored it.
Okay.
I think it
Maybe they
originally
thought,
aired with
well,
that.
Here they allow it because it's within context, and later it's not no longer within context. So then they bleeped it out.
The first one was actually referring to the place, and it was an accurate statement, even if it wasn't in politically
Right.
correct. Whereas at the end, they were putting down that type of a place, not talking about a place that literally was that type of place.
So how do you get to 4 more inches from there?
Well, because the new TV has 16 and a 16-inch screen, and the old TV has a 12-inch screen.
No, I'm talking about this Archie episode. How do you get 4 more inches there?
Oh, so the whole 4 more inches thing has to apply to every topic?
Just checking.
I don't know. Well, a fag is also a term for a cigarette. As our British viewers will listen to, and if you got an extra long cigarette, that might have 4 extra inches on it.
Yeah, okay. I gave you a gift in the Team Talk chat.
Oh boy, I could hardly wait. Now OX was writing in some comments here about censorship. Basically, I think OX64 is hitting the nail on the head here. The reason this happened, writing OX64 writing in, because censorship is stupid as fuck. That's all there is to it. It's one thing to not want promotion of hatred, but it's another to just randomly censor shit. So yeah, that was I think it turned out to be a pretty good example of how stupid censorship is, because I decided this one's okay, this one's not, when it was still within the same episode about the same topic. All right, so Venison sent me something relating to Archie. So let's check this out.
Good night, Archie. Oh, Archie, what are you doing? What are you going down there for? Oh, I don't know about this, Archie. Oh, ow, Archie. Stick your tongue in.
You shouldn't be playing this.
Oh my goodness, Archie.
Shouldn't be playing
Oh,
this.
eat my pussy, Archie.
Okay, there are terms of service on Twitch, Venison. That went just a little too far. My apologies to the Twitch censors.
If they can find it.
Oh, if there are Twitch censors, they've bleeped out like all the occurrences of the. Okay. Anyways,
you got to notice on your stream is that this adults only.
Yeah, but there are some. I don't. That might run afoul of terms of service.
By the way, the prior link, Johnny, that you posted was this personify. What
Right.
was that?
Oh, that was something that OX64 suggested for green screen, I believe.
And I said that as a gift. I didn't say to play it. That was your decision.
I didn't know what it. Well, why would you send me a file not to play? What am I supposed to think when you send me a WAV file while we're doing a show? Now, OX64 says just saying that F word was already a TOS, even though no negative context was intended. Twitch is weird like that. That's sad if that really is that, because I was talking about the word. I wasn't using the word in a negative, as an insult towards someone, or saying negative commentary about anything with the use of that word. I was, but then again, that is a topic. I remember Boston Public had an episode about a class discussion about the N word, and that is that's a touchy topic to even broach talking about. So, and I'm not even going there.
I got one about censorship, but I don't know if that would. I got one about censorship, but I don't know how that affects TOS.
Yeah, the thing is,
From Duckman.
we're not popular
It's
enough.
awesome.
We're not popular enough for anyone to care about what we're doing as far as TOS. We'll just
Really?
unless someone just wants to screw with us, in which case we'll just disappear like we never existed, and that will be that. But we are still on YouTube, so you could always find us over there. OX6 again. Yeah, only fewer viewers. I don't think I have anything to worry about tonight. Well, there were 5 viewers, but after I started playing Venison's file, once the P word got thrown out, we dropped down to 4 viewers. So I think someone is running over to the Twitch censors as we speak, letting them know what type of shenanigans are going on over here.
I think we were actually up to 7 at one point until it got boring.
When that implies,
So it was the quality of the content, not the.
wait a minute, Lulu. That implies we weren't boring at some point tonight.
Yeah.
When weren't we boring?
I don't know when anymore.
I guess
But we were up to 7 people.
people like the Zenith Portal TVs. I'm telling you, those are 7 people
No.
are going.
Okay.
Damn, I missed
No,
out on
it
a
was-
Facebook
What was the
marketplace.
commentary
Listener.
between?
I invite any listener or viewer to type in the chat to say boring or interesting. Either way, I don't mind. I'm not going to be butthurt over that.
I think
We
they.
were
Can I say
also
butthurt?
we were also up to at least 5 people on YouTube
Um,
from
Okay,
what I saw.
okay, and we didn't even mention AutoZone.
I think they like the 4 inches.
I think they like the 4 inches. That is it. That is.
Medicine.
It sounds like Edith.
No.
It sounds like Edith was liking the 4 inches. Wait, what? Never mind. Moving right along. Yeah, so X64
Yeah,
rating at 7 people wanted 4 more inches is what it was.
Okay, now I sent you the one on censorship.
Yeah.
From Duckman. You can do as you will with it.
Does this violate terms of service?
It doesn't have any language, because it's on TV.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what? I trust TV to establish a certain level of standards that are acceptable for Twitch. So let's
Yeah, because
let's see how fast we can get
says
ourselves
it all.
banned.
The same way they
This says it
manipulate
all.
us into buying toothpaste, car wax, even politicians. All prepackaged, the least offensive, most appealing alternative. But it's precisely when humor is offensive that we need it most. Comedy should provoke. It should blast through prejudices, challenge preconceptions. Comedy should always leave you different than when it found you.
The rebel seems roused.
Sure, humor can hurt, even alienate. But the risk is better than the alternative. A steady diet of innocuous, childproof, flavorless mush. Demand to be challenged, to be offended, to be treated like thinking, reasoning adults. And raise your children to be the same. Don't let a comedian, a network, a congressional committee, or an evil genius take away your freedom to laugh at whatever you want.
Okay.
But apparently, if you make a joke
Exactly.
about fire trucks, you're off the air.
Yeah, because it starts with F and ends with UCK. A fire truck. And don't.
Or if you show an image of a severed head,
Yeah.
people don't like it, you're off the air.
And don't forget to go into your parents' pockets and find those green pieces of paper to send me.
Oh man,
all right.
there was this one video.
Venison. So Venison,
that
do you
was
believe there should be?
outrageous.
Do you believe there should be no limit to censorship then, or there should be no limit to speech as far as comedy goes?
Have you ever seen Bob Cossack on Twitter?
Yeah, I stopped following him when he wouldn't stop making Muslim jokes one night. Which, he's free to do that, but I didn't need to see like 3 hours of straight Muslim jokes over the course of a night.
Well, that was the topic of the era.
I was
but,
like,
you know,
really?
he's back to
You're
his-
gonna go there?
He's back to his regular shit.
So here's the beauty of the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
The First Amendment says you can say anything you want, but the other beauty that's implied of the First Amendment is that you don't have to listen.
Right. There is that.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, there's idiots on Twitter that I
Right.
decide, I don't want to follow this
And,
jerk
and
anymore.
and that's why Twitch, is allowed to, you could say whatever you want, but if you're going to say it on our services using our resources, we have a say over that.
Right. After all,
Ox-
that's Microsoft. No, Amazon.
Ox writes in saying, society is a funny thing. It's okay to be exposed to things such as games or movies depicting death, but Lord forbid anything be shown depicting creating life on those same mediums.
We have humans are a curious species.
Okay, so which media doesn't permit the F-bomb?
Network TV.
Yeah, or
Well, but I mean, is that allowed on Twitch and YouTube? I mean, we're still on the air.
right. I mean, we could say
I use as multiple swear words as I can on my YouTube channel. I smoke pot on my YouTube channel. I don't give a flying fuck.
I do the same thing on my broadcast.
Now, I do think that there is something about terms of service about legalities. Like pot is legal in California, although it's still illegal federally.
Yes.
But I don't think Twitch. But I do know that Sweet Anita has declined to answer questions about how pot affects her Tourette's, because pot is still illegal in England, and therefore it is against terms of service for her to speak of smoking pot on Twitch.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. It's like you can't even talk about that because if you say that if it affects me this way, that's basically admitting to doing illegal things or talking about illegal things you do, and so that I guess. And Anita is really under a spotlight because she's partnered.
Need a VPN server, so you can say you're in Amsterdam or in California or other places legal.
I guess if she wanted to try to go that route, I guess what she probably could talk about the effects of it on her Tourette's when she's on vacation in a place and doing it, because then she'd be talking about something she did in a legal setting.
Well, technically, she can talk about CBD.
Where you're from.
I don't know. I just know that at times she's declined to answer the question because of TOS. So that's the extent of my knowledge.
Well, that would be a
I mean,
medical,
come on.
right?
I mean, come on. On regular media around here, even before it became legal, TV shows, comedians, and everybody else be talking about pot and smoking it on the air.
Yeah.
Well, see,
go ahead, Lulu.
if CBD is legal in her country, she can talk about the CBD effects of it and leave out the THC effects. Because whether people like it or not, there's studies that have been done that THC, if you mix the CBD with the THC, you need a little bit of THC for the CBD to work. So, I mean, it might be... I mean, like, she's still consuming in a way, but she's not consuming the THC part. She could talk about, well, I take CBD gummies or I take CBD tinctures, and this is how it's helping me.
That could be interesting. I don't know the details of. I just know she's declined that specific question. But then
like I said, if it's on normal TV shows and they do it, smoke it, talk about it and all like that, then why can't you do it there?
I don't know.
Now, Oregon came legal well after Washington State, right?
It was Colorado, Washington, and then... and then there was like a couple other states before Oregon.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, 'cause
California
I've
products.
known a guy.
Decimated.
I've been following a guy for several years, and he would talk about growing it and smoking it. Sometimes he would be on his videos smoking it, and he lived in Oregon. And he would talk about he just took his kid to the bus stop to be picked up to go to school. It's like, dude, do you want your kid to go to a foster home or something? Because this was even when it was not legal yet.
They're very relaxed up there. I'm gonna say that.
But
They're
don't-
very
That's
relaxed
because
up
the
there.
leadership
But-
are on it.
They're all pretty relaxed about that, but don't you dare try to pump your own gas, or they will fine you like you won't believe.
Well, no.
Well,
They actually passed a law. They passed a law where you can pump your own gas after a certain time of day, and then also if you're in a very rural community, you have to pump your own gas.
Wow, that
Because
is.
there's not always going to be a tenant.
It's funny because, well, I know this because I grew up in New Jersey, but there were two states in which it was illegal to pump your own gas, and that was Oregon and New Jersey. So I grew up.
What?
I grew up.
Is New Jersey still got it set that way?
As far as I know, yeah, it's still illegal to pump your own gas in New Jersey, and I think
one guy claimed that Oregon and New Jersey were the only civilized state.
Well, now here. I don't know what the origins of the you can't pump your own gas law is in New Jersey, but my guess.
I pumped my own gas for decades.
My guess or my understanding is it has to do with safety concerns and flammable liquids. And maybe this dates back to a time when gas pumps didn't have auto shutoffs or things like that. So the idea being that you have a trained professional that pumps your gas, and it probably wasn't even that big of
That's a big skill.
And it's probably not that. Probably wasn't that big of a deal as a ordinance or a law in the state of New Jersey when it was enacted in an era where full service gas stations, 50 style, where the guy comes out and squeegees your window and does everything for you. You know, who cares that you're not allowed to pump your own gas? The full service was the norm, was the standard. I remember as a kid, it was still normal every time we went to a gas station for the attendant to wash our windows while the gas was pumping into the car. That was still normal in my childhood. So I don't.
Even in the 80s, you could still pump your own gas. What the hell?
Well,
I think
Because they had auto shut off.
Well, you weren't supposed to in New Jersey. I think New Jersey was lax about it, though, because I do know my dad would often get out of the car and pump it himself if the attendant didn't come over right away. No one stopped him.
Let me ask this question.
Okay.
When did a person actually pump the gasoline? And why do we still use that language?
I don't know. Why do we park in
You're
driveways
not
and drive on
actually pumping, you're
parkways?
Opening up a valve. That's it.
Oh, something's pumping. The
But
gas.
you're not hand cranking it.
No, but the gas is being pumped from the tank that's in the ground into your car. So you're using a gas pump and it's pumping gas into your car. So that's.
Yeah.
So you're still pumping gas even if you're not operating the pump.
Oh.
Brian, stop being so literal.
Anyways.
Well, no. I suspect that the phrase came back when
You would
you
pump
literally
gas.
did operate a pump.
It very well could have. And
By the way, you can now legally self-serve in Oregon with the COVID-19 outbreak.
Interesting. Because here's the thing. Because I grew up. I'm sorry, Lulu. Let me finish.
Didn't I just fucking say that you can pump your own fucking
You did.
gas in Oregon?
You did.
But you didn't
I just
did.
fucking say that?
You did. You did.
I'm confirming it with an actual
did.
article. Is it okay that I confirm what you say? So I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. It's okay, Lulu.
Clearly, we all need to pass a joint around.
That's right.
We
I wish
all.
I had one.
I know it's Monday. It's the start of another week. We're all getting a little bit of the COVID
That's right.
crazies.
Why do we do this show on Monday again? We're all
God, I
cranky
wish I had
bastards.
one.
I asked you, Brian, what days are you available? And you said Monday's good for me.
Well, this
I
is
gotta
true.
find
It is
another
my fault.
source.
I would do it on Friday or Saturday, but you're never free on a Friday or a Saturday.
It's not because of COVID. Granted, yes, you can pump your gas because of COVID, but it's
No,
because
I'm
they
just saying
actually
what
put
this
a law in
article is
place.
saying.
I think they did, as Lulu said, I do think I remember hearing something before COVID with Oregon lifting it, because I think I remember when I heard that, I said, oh, so New Jersey's the last one? Because I did.
Well, this is a temporary thing, according to this article.
Huh.
I didn't even know anything about it.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, you're not in Oregon.
Here's what I know.
No Jersey.
You didn't know that that was illegal to pump your own gas in New Jersey? And you grew up in New Jersey? You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
And you know what? There have been attempts to overturn this law in New Jersey, and generally the resistance is along the lines of, why would you want to give up a good thing? Or, well, it hurts jobs because then gas stations wouldn't have to hire as many attendants, and now you're doing away with people's jobs. There's things along those lines.
Do people tip the attendants?
I don't know. I think they used to. I think, well, what you used to do is you hand the attendant the cash, and if they didn't pump it all the way to the nearest dollar, you just tell them to keep the change. But in the credit card era, that kind of disappeared. I don't think it's...
A lot of gas stations only had one person there, so whose job's going to get rid of?
Well, that one person might just be the person at the cash register at the convenience store, and then no one's pumping gas. There would be less jobs if pumping gas was not required of staff in New Jersey. You would lose jobs in New Jersey. Not every place.
No, but not everyone's going to do it. I only did it to fill the gas tank to the top so I could do mileage estimates.
And
that's just me.
OX64 is writing in, if they lift the law, it's not putting a gun to gas stations to make them fire their attendants. No, but people that are worried about...
making people fire their attendants.
No, but
that's funny.
No. The concern is gas stations will lay off attendants if they don't have to have as many, and so... The thing is that the effect of lifting the law would be you would lose some jobs in the state of New Jersey. That's
bullshit.
Cause effect. That is going to be the effect. Does that mean that's a good reason to have the law?
I agree. That's what would happen, because it is, hey, we don't need this many people. We can let them go.
Right. Those jobs would get lost.
There we go. We just saved another minimum wage job from...
Now, does that mean that we should require gas stations to keep these people on hand? Is that a good reason to have a law? I don't think it's a good reason to have the law.
Yes.
But that is one of the reasons of the resistance, because there is concern over the loss of jobs. That's all I'm saying.
That's stupid.
But let me actually say what I was trying to say. So I grew up in New Jersey knowing that this law existed, but knowing it was also very lax. I have never seen anyone fined for pumping their own gas. I've seen my dad get out of the car, pump his own gas many times. So when I heard Oregon has the same law, and someone's making a comment like, yeah, usually they make the out-of-state people wait, and they won't wait on them right away just to piss them off. And I'm like, go ahead, try to pull that crap with me. I know how to pump gas. I get out of the car, just pump it myself and drive off. After paying, of course. And they say, oh, if you try that, they'll fine you. They ain't messing around, Oregon. So my understanding is that Oregon was more strict about those laws than New Jersey.
Read Zoe's text.
All right. Zoe, writing. Go ahead, Lulu. And then we'll read.
They were very strict about that. You could not pump your own gas. They had attendants of 24 hours in some cases to pump your gas. So that's why they made that law stating you can pump your gas after 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when people are coming through small towns, they can stop and pump their gas. They
So
can't do it.
they never had problem with gas station robberies in Oregon.
No, apparently
You know,
not.
because in a lot of places throughout California and other areas, after 8 p.m., the that little hut where you can get the candy bars and whatever is locked up. There ain't nobody coming out.
Well, they're not. They don't. They don't have that little hut. You have to pay by debit.
Well, of course. Yeah, that's the modern thing to do. Well, they have a little window, you know, like it's a bank vault, where you can stick the money in and pay that way.
Not
My
from
problem
what
with
I've
that is they
seen.
say, well, how much do you want? Well, I don't know how much fucking gas I need. I just want to pump gas. I'm not a fortune teller.
I'm sorry, Lulu. You got a little interrupted there. Would you like to continue your thought from?
No, no, I don't. Because, you know,
Well, you were confirming what I said, that Oregon was really strict about it, but then they started lifting it at certain hours, which that strikes me as odd. Why keep the law at all? That's like suggesting, like, oh, it's not safe to pump your own gas, but when it's dark out, it's okay. Like if it's okay to do at night, why isn't it okay to do in the
I
day?
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't live in Oregon.
Yeah.
Like I said, read Zoe's. Zoe's.
Well, all right.
Yes, I've read Zoe's post.
Okay.
Can you stop?
I know you have.
We haven't read them.
But
Okay, we're all a little crazed these days from being cooped up for weeks. Like I said, we need to pass the joint around. So let me read what Zoe's written in OX64. Zoe writes in, I haven't seen and attended at a garage in 30 years. And you need more people employed to fix the damn pumps after people F them up so employment stays about the same. Now, OX64 doesn't agree. OX64 thinks that gas stations are like any other business. They probably make person do two jobs, being an attendant and a cashier. So even if they lift the law, they still going to have plenty of work to do. I think that could be debatable. I think you could very well have a situation.
Hey, here's an idea.
You know.
Here's an idea.
Okay.
Have a person clean the bathroom.
The issue isn't that we need to find work for them to do. The issue is that the owners are going to have less required state mandated work. And then it's like, well, I don't have to keep hiring this person. You know, it's
that's only if everybody pumps their own gas, but they won't.
Now Zoe's saying
only a few people do it.
Zoe says that's not disagreeing with me. You still need someone to work the till. Well, a lot of places you just drive up, swipe the credit card, drive off. There are places that are unmanned that still sell gas overnight. You can't do that in Jersey.
Yeah, I've been to gas station where there was nobody there. You paid at the pump, you did it, and then you left.
And what about? I mean, now you got your bit small town gas station that you have one attendant, and that's and they can get the job done. But what about your truck stops on the off ramp of a highway where you got hundreds of cars coming in? If you are going to full service every vehicle that passes through there, that takes a whole lot more manpower than it would if you could have self-service, full service. You could probably cut half of your pumpers out.
That's why they also, part of the fucking law was that way you can pump your gas even if there's attendants around.
Right. Right. Most states are that way. And most states have the option of full service or self-service. But in New Jersey...
Well, there was also the deal where it used to be where some pumps were marked as self-service, others were marked full service, and the full-service one were more expensive.
Right. And that is a thing that exists in many places. And that's another concern.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
You know what? That's a concern that some people have in New Jersey, because some people in New Jersey are like, oh, if you lift it, then they're going to charge me extra for full service, and I don't want to pump my own gas, and why should I have to pay extra? So that's another argument you hear sometimes from people that are against
That's a good one.
lifting it. They want to keep one price. They don't want to pay extra for their full service.
One price, you got 3 prices.
Well-
No, you got 6 prices because you have cash versus credit.
Well, you know what I mean.
And of course, full serve versus that is another multiplier. So you have 12
Lulu,
different
what are you giving
prices.
up on? I don't understand what you're trying to say that you feel is not getting said here.
Never mind.
No, please.
Have we beat that topic to death?
Yeah, you have.
Okay, move on.
So titty fucking.
And by the way, how do you get an extra 4
No.
inches in that?
What, in the titty fucking?
No,
You just
we're
keep
talking
pushing.
about fisting.
You just
Fisting.
fisting. My favorite joke about my favorite Doug Stanhope joke is him talking about being in the adult store and seeing hanging on the wall rubber fist, which left them with the thought: when in your life, who needs this? When are you ever like, 2 fists is just not enough? We're gonna need a third one. Give me that rubber fist.
No, you're just gonna
No.
fit your head in there
No.
and wear it as a hat.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about music.
Well, let's throw in that one insult. The reason to do yoga is so that you can stick your head up your ass.
Usually I like to
So
tell
he's
that
going-
joke in the form of, well, clearly these TV executives need to put a window in their stomach so they can see where they're walking while they have their heads so far up their ass.
Ooh, that's sophisticated.
Yeah.
Okay, this covers all topics. Somebody's just going extra 4 inches, longer pumps.
There you go. Longer pumps, extra 4 inches. That's how you do it. Now, I want to talk about this album. And I have 2 copies of it on 8-track. This here
Oh, boy.
This here is Vanilla Fudge's 5th album called Rock and Roll. And one of the greatest jokes about this is a contractual obligation album. And one of the symptoms of the album being a contractual obligation album is, as you can see, the cover consists of a white cover with big red letters that just say rock and roll. And on the back of the album, under the credits, they credit the band with the album design. And when asked about it, the band said, it was red letters on a white cover. We didn't design anything. So we don't know who came up with that design. Basically, Vanilla Fudge had already broken up. Timmy and Carmine decided that they were going to start another band with Jeff Beck, but then Jeff Beck got in a car accident, messed up his arm, so they started a band with 2 other guys named Jim McCarty and Rusty Day and called that Cactus. Mark Stein tried to hire a few replacement players, keep Vanilla Fudge going, and Vinnie Martell, he went off and did other stuff. But they had to record one more album for contractual obligation, and apparently all 4 of them were barely ever in the studio at the same time. They just kind of went in, put down their parts, went, another guy came in, put down his parts, and the album was recorded, and there was a guy that was a staff producer that was assigned to produce it. And so whenever they are asked, why are there 2 different versions of this album, the band members pretty much shrug their shoulders and go, we didn't know there was 2 versions of that album. So yeah, there are 2 versions of this album. And no one's sure why. And up until now, I'd only heard the rarer of the 2 versions on vinyl. But this 8-track is the rare version. So it turns out the rare version was released on 8-track and vinyl. And this one's the normal one. And I think that's a cool and fascinating topic.
Is it in quad?
Unfortunately, Vanilla Fudge never got quad. This album came out in 69 or 70. What year did this come out? So it came out before Quad, really. Yeah, it came out in 1970. So it's a little early for Quad.
Frank Zappa, Fillmore East.
So for example, typically they're referred to as the A mix and the C mix, and that's because the record has a C in the dead wax for the more common mix, but the rare mix has an A in the dead wax. And the biggest difference between these two albums are
I'll give you a U.
You'll give me a U?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What's the U for?
Well, you bought a vowel.
Oh. I get it. Okay. I'm sorry. I should have given you a drum.
Quick.
Yeah. Anyways, the biggest difference is that there's a whole few minutes missing of one of the songs.
In the second release? Or the original?
Well, that's the thing. No one's really sure which one's the original, which one's the right one, which one came first or later. We just know that there's one that's the A mix and one that's the C mix, and the C mix is the more common one, and the C mix is the one that there's still a master tape for. The A mix is far less common, and when they reissued it on CD, and when you asked, could you put out the A mix this time, they said, we don't have any tapes of an A mix. So I think the A mix was the first mix and was the originally intended mix, and I think at some point the tapes got swapped or something. And
so are you going to play a clip of this?
Yeah. So the more common, the biggest difference is their cover of "Windmills of Your Mind." If you buy the most record copies of it with the C mix, the song starts like this, with some pounding drums. And a little organ fill, and Mark will start singing, just to give you an idea. So that's how the song starts on most copies. Now I do.
Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I lost my window that had this because I've been disorganized. So let me go, because I actually did find a record of the A mix when I was in college, because I knew to look for it, because on the Vanilla Fudge website, there was a little message board area where people were talking about this
They
stuff.
had websites while you were in college?
Yeah. And it was before forums were a popular thing, so there was some kind of like comment messaging area where conversations were breaking out. And so here we go. Here's the...
We didn't even have dial-up service when I was in college.
Well, you're old.
Right, Fennison?
How big were your computers?
So we
extra
had
4 inches.
An IBM 360 that filled a room.
My computers were
And
about
the
4 inches
difference
bigger
is
back then.
University of Connecticut leased the computer from IBM, where Harvard bought theirs.
Uh-huh.
So when
Oh my
Harvard had trouble,
goodness.
IBM would balk.
So,
When University of Connecticut would have trouble, they would just call IBM and says, "Come and pick it up."
yeah.
So they would show up.
Anyways, what you're hearing right now is how that same song starts on the rare version. As you can hear, this is all stuff. We're 50 seconds in. We still haven't heard the opening drums that we heard on the other one.
Is that the volume up briefly?
What's that?
Crank up the volume a little bit. I like that recording.
Yeah, there's a whole 2 to 3 minutes intro
Nice.
that completely got
Nice.
lopped off the song at some point. And
Right.
so now I found,
That's because they know a single is only 3 minutes.
well, there's a single edit of this song that's shorter than both versions.
So what's the full time period of this version?
This version is 8 minutes and 55 seconds.
Short.
And the version on the C-Mix is 6 minutes and 5 seconds. And the single version is 4 minutes and 16 seconds.
Now, is there a live version someplace?
No, the band was breaking up
Not
at this
like
point.
In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida,
No, not like Inagata.
where the live version is even longer.
Ed sucks.
Well, hey, it's stoner music.
Yeah.
Brian, stop talking over the music.
You digging it?
It's stoner music.
I'm digging it. Look at Lulu. She's mesmerized over it.
And this is where we came in the last version.
Hey, it's just like a Queen song.
Yeah.
Like a circle in a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel.
So, I found the rare version on 8-track, and I didn't know if the rare version got 8-track release or not, but I happened to see this on eBay with a different track order than this one, and I did a little math, and I'm like, I think that's the longer version. So now I got both mixes on 8-track and vinyl.
But they're all stereo, not quad.
Right. But if I play them at the same time, it's like quad.
I think Lulu is doing a interpretive dance with it.
She wants to sing along. Zoe pointing out that I'm not that young. Yeah, but this is why I have Brian and Venison on my show. They make me look young. Even with this hairline.
Right.
Okay, so, I mean, you weren't even born when this song came out, right?
Correct. I came along 9 years later.
I remember when it came out. There's the difference.
Wait, you've
I
heard
remember
this?
song.
This version
Oh,
of it?
absolutely. I don't recall the different versions, and I don't recall it being so frickin' slow.
Well, Vanilla Fudge was known for slowing down songs. I mean, you know what Vanilla Fudge is most known for, right?
Educate me though.
Okay, they were known for this. Which is another cover of a song that they slowed down quite a bit.
So that last song was actually a cover.
Right.
That they slowed it down.
Right, that was...
Who did the original?
I don't know. That one I don't know. But do you remember this?
Yeah.
So you know what cover this is?
Remind me.
Well, here, you should recognize this song real soon.
Set me free, what's on you, babe? Get out my life, what's on you, babe? You really don't want me, you just keep me hanging on.
Yeah, they slowed down and did a psychedelic version of the Supremes. That was a big hit for them.
Of the Supremes.
Well, Vanilla Fudge had a big hit with this version too. This was a
I
hit.
remember this version.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of their thing.
Now this doesn't seem to be exaggeratedly slow.
I think it is. Let's compare.
Well, not compare. I mean, the last song was exaggeratedly slow. This song, yeah, it's slow, but not.
It's pretty slow
It's their own
compared.
version for sure.
It's pretty slow. They also slowed down Season of the Witch.
That's Cream, isn't it?
I think Donovan had a hit with that.
When I look outside my window, what do I see?
Is that a cat behind you there, Lulu?
And when I look outside my window,
Probably a cat. Anyways, OX64 is saying,
dark.
I wish you could join our vinyl show we're doing this weekend. You have a really cool collection. You doing a show on Twitch?
Who does?
OX64. I'm definitely interested.
Oh.
I'm down with a vinyl show. Yeah, let's talk vinyls.
Is that YouTube or Twitch?
I don't know. I'm waiting for the information from OX64 this weekend. I don't have much planned this weekend, so yeah, I'll check that out.
I mean, after all, I need to follow if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I'll definitely post.
We need the information.
We'll post the. I'll post the info on my Twitter. But here's the refrain now, their version of.
must be the season of the witch. Must be the season.
Definitely. So, and this reminds me of some of the stuff
Yeah.
on one of the Harry Potter movies, one of the latter ones, the Hallow.
Yeah.
I don't know if they actually played this, but it reminds me of it.
Yeah. So that's a pretty slowed down version. And then they also did a slow. They did a lot of covers. They did some original songs, and they did their second album. It depends what drugs you were on, but some people had bad trips on that one. But I've heard some people enjoyed getting stoned at that one. Their second album, they tried to do like a concept album about the history of time through music, called "The Beat Goes On," and it's interesting.
Which was Sonny and Cher, right?
Yeah, they do a lot of different versions of "The Beat Goes On" throughout the album.
Going back to Bach.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do. Well, here's one of the versions of "The Beat Goes On" they do on here, just to give you an idea. But yeah, it's this whole history of music album with the theme of Sonny and Cher's "The Beat Goes On" as kind of the recurring theme throughout the album. But yeah, they cover all kinds of history. Here's some different. They go throughout time. Let's skip ahead around a little bit here.
And the extra 4 inches here comes in on.
Yeah.
It's a band with 4 members.
Yes. There you go.
You can draw any conclusion you want, but I'm just going to leave it.
We're not
there.
saying how those 4 inches are distributed
They
among
might not
the
like
band
the
members,
suggestion.
but between the 4 of them, bad Brian.
Hey, I didn't make the conclusion. I just made the suggestion.
So yeah, it's interesting. About the best thing to do on an album is a rendition of the Moonlight Sonata. I'm just gonna jump a little bit ahead here.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I think Moonlight Sonata makes some good stoner music sometimes, don't you?
Sure.
All right, let's see. I think OX wrote some things about his show. Not sure if it will be on Twitch or not. Will depend on friends' internet connection. We normally do it in a central location monthly, but we're doing our 24-hour special show this weekend. So doing it at his house so he doesn't have to move records. Oh, keep me posted on that.
So Johnny, what you're gonna have to do is tweet the, his homepage on Twitch.
Yeah.
And on
And the meeting
YouTube.
he broadcasts on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24 hours, that's all. We had one guy on the network that did a 40-hour show.
Damn.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that was a trip.
yeah, and he slept
That's
for half
even
of them.
longer than Lamont.
And we kept pestering him to keep him awake.
There you go.
Hey, buddy, your record is skipping there. We've heard the same the last 5 hours.
Pretty much.
No, that's it's okay to fall asleep when playing Sergeant Pepper because then you could just let the inner groove keep going forever. You know that works, right?
Yeah.
No, we didn't let him sleep that long.
Oh man, I gotta find that now. Where's my Sergeant Pepper? I got too many Beatles here. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I was working at
That
this
was
place
fun.
where the on-hold music was Flight of the Valkyrie, and there was a skip in the CD, so you'd get a track, and then it would get on it, hop back for a minute, and play that thing over and over and over and over, literally for hours, forever.
There we go. Just 2 hours slipping
Number
through
9.
this.
Number 9. Number 9.
Oh,
That's the end
God.
of Sgt. Pepper's?
What's that? What do you
That's
say?
the end of Sgt. Pepper's?
Yeah, that's what they put on the inner groove. I don't know if American copies had that though. I think that was only on British copies.
Okay.
Oh, God, I can't
Yeah, the
find
Americans
it.
probably found it annoying.
Yeah.
I can't find it in time now. There was something that happened on our server. I played, the last thing I played was, the Full Moon Dissension, Atomic Cookie track. And the last few seconds of it, would do that. It would just repeat itself. And it would devolve after a while. It would get all messed up, and you get server noises and all other kind of crap. Thing is, nobody noticed it for
Yeah.
12 hours. It was
All right.
playing. I woke up the next morning and heard that, and I was like, "Whoa!" And
Whoops.
got in touch with appropriate people to shut that off.
Oh,
So, right at the end of Lucky Man is some super low notes that can pop speakers. So, I'd like to take a loop of that and just play it over and over. Wow.
okay.
Pop speakers.
So I'm looking up the Wikipedia entry for the song "The Windmills of Your Mind." To answer Brian's question, who did that? And I see it was this song with music by French composer Michael Legrand and English lyrics written by Americans Alan and Marilyn Bergman. The French lyrics under the title "Le Moulin de Mon Coeur" were written by Eddie Marnay. But it looks like it was covered by Dusty Springfield, and also Jose Feliciano did a version as well. So one of those versions might be the ones you're more familiar with.
Dusty Springfield, I would think.
Yeah, that's probably the one.
There's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time.
Owen Ox, you sung about low notes. Oh, I want to hear that. Yeah, We Will Rock You. I cranked that up with a speaker system I had just built And it blew the voice coil out of the speaker.
Yippee!
I laughed and it shut it off real quick before the app burned out.
Here we go. Here's the Dusty Springfield version.
Like a carousel that's turning, running rings around the moon. Like a clock whose hands are sweeping past the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, Vanilla Fudge slowed it down a little bit.
And the world is like an
I
apple
need more rum.
whirling
We all need more rum.
like the surf.
Definitely.
151 is strong.
It's like a
That'll protect you.
151. That's some great stuff. That's a 6-pack in a shot glass right there.
Oh no, more than that.
That stuff can clean wounds really good. It's like vodka.
Well, yeah,
dude.
yeah. It's basically
or start
70%.
campfires.
It
Yeah.
comes with a fireproof grate on the bottle, so as to try to prevent unfortunate incidents with the open flame. And
Not this
Yeah.
brand.
I think there's an old story that Video Vamp has about how him and a group of friends slipped a bottle of 151 rum with them into a TGI Fridays so they could order sodas and then spike the sodas with the rum. And apparently at some point someone accidentally flicked a cigarette at one of the glasses and it kind of went up in flames. Which I think is a little suspicious when your soda catches fire. So-
I like my Irish whiskey.
That's good stuff.
I
Now-
like Irish whiskey.
Now Irish whiskey was Brian's drink of choice when we got him to get the flask for the show. You got the Bushmills and was taking little swigs of that every now and then, as we dared you to.
Bushmills is a wonderful, wonderful Irish whiskey. That's what I cut my tooth on, and
Yeah.
I was happy with that.
I have my story about getting drunk on Bushmills is it was a Saturday morning. Well, here's the thing, because I have a friend in Australia, and at times we were closer friends than at other times, and so oftentimes I would get up early on a Saturday morning, and it'd be a Saturday evening her time, and we'd hang out, and she'd drink and do whatever because it was Saturday night. And I would have some coffee or some breakfast because it was Saturday morning. And she often lamented the fact that we didn't drink together because it wasn't evening at the same time for us. And I said, well, I could always make an Irish coffee. And she's like, oh, you should do that. So I did that one morning and got drunk on Bushmills spiked Irish coffee one Saturday morning. I don't recommend getting drunk in the morning because then you're drunk the rest of the day, and then you kind of come
Yeah.
it makes the whole sleeping it off thing difficult because it's your day, and it was
Yeah.
all right. It wasn't too bad, but I wouldn't recommend
guess.
it.
That's
You
why I
didn't
wait
drink
till
water.
afternoon.
Oh, I drank some. Well, I had it in the coffee. No, I drank some water. I do typically drink water, but that also means I'm pissing all day.
Well,
But yeah,
what would you rather do? Be slightly sober and like get it out of your system faster, or do you want to be drunk throughout the day?
no, I drink water. I always drink water. I guess for me, I like. I do like drinking water when I get drunk because it makes the next morning better. But typically, I'm up pissing every 15 minutes throughout the night when I get drunk.
Oh well.
So it makes it hard to get to sleep, is what I'm getting. Because you just
No,
keep
it
getting
don't.
interrupted.
Well, yeah. if
Did
get
you see that
interrupted-
link that I did there, Jonathan?
No, link where?
In the chat on the team talk.
That's weird. It didn't work for you last week either. Huh.
I don't see it either.
Yeah, why are your chats not going through?
Has he updated his Team Talk at all?
Well, I'm using a real old version, and it works for me.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so Brian,
Yeah, when I type, nothing shows up.
just type hi. Just
I can see. Yes, I can see that.
oh, you can see that. Can you see your messages though?
Yeah, but see, my name isn't against it. It's just text that's floating out there.
Huh.
It's not sending.
Weird.
Is that weird?
That is weird. That's very weird.
Maybe there's a weird setting.
Oh,
That's not a setting. You might have to re-download Team Talk.
What version are you on?
Well, I'm
I
on.
got 5.4.
I'm on 5.4
I got-
Classic. Go ahead.
I'm on 5.5.1.
Oh.
I'm on
That's-
5.4 too.
Or
rather, also.
That's weird.
And
I don't have the classic version.
Well, I have the classic version for audio purposes, but yeah, that's weird. I can't understand why it wouldn't let you send a message. But we do have Twitter and Facebook Messenger and many other ways you can get a message to me to work around the issue so that we can continue talking about the end of the show.
yeah, I get drunk in the late afternoon, especially when jerking off. More fun that way.
Oh, and Dune sent me a picture of a screen grab. Apparently, he was amused by the look that Lulu was giving all of us at the moment that he saw the thumbnail on Twitch. So,
Which one is it? Can you send it to me, please?
I can send that to you. All right, we'll copy the image. We will. Let me go over the Twitter, and I'll send it to the room. If it'll let me paste, yeah.
And yes,
it will.
Ox, that's what I said. It does work. But better when you're high.
Oh.
Anyways, on that note, it's time
Lulu
to put
knows.
Lulu knows. So it is once again time to put another fun-filled episode to bed.
Why?
Where did those 2 hours go? I don't know, but I will never get them
You
back.
can't get them back.
And Lulu, you definitely can't get them back. There are no refunds. You made your choice. You chose to spend those 2 hours here. You can never take that back.
And Ox, it doesn't have to be 4K porn. Any porn will do.
The 2 hours went into 4 inches. Exactly.
2 hours and 4 inches later, we were all fucked. And on that note, we do try to be educational here.
That even didn't feel good. I felt nothing. I'm numb to the fact of 4 inches.
Even with the rubber fist?
Yes.
Damn.
On that note, though, we do try to be
No
educational
comment.
here. So, Lulu,
Shut up, Venison.
no one interrupt. And Lulu, what have you learned this week?
Learned once again that venison is a nasty, nasty critter.
Further evidence. And Brian, what are you learning right now staring at your phone? What have you learned this week?
Oh, it's just, well, besides the things that I already mentioned, steampunk,
Yeah.
TVs that don't work. Sir Mars just tweeted 9 minutes ago, I don't understand the new trend of wanting to open your laptop with one finger in reviews. What do you have to... Are you eating a cheeseburger or something?
I have not noticed this, but now I'm going to have to go watch laptop reviews and look for this. Anyways, Venison, what have you learned this week?
Well, I've learned you should, watch what you, watch it. Blah. I learned that 151 should be used sparingly. I've learned that I was pumping my own gas. I didn't have to, but I wanted to. And 4 inches and rubber fist. That disturbs me.
I've learned that when having a discussion at a gas station about whether you should or should not be allowed to pump your own gas, you should always make sure to pass around the joint. And it's okay because the risk of burning down the station is better than dealing with having to have that debate while not stoned. And I've also learned that it's probably a bad idea to plug in your 1950s TV before you change all the capacitors and test all the tubes.
Oh my god, I'm gonna... You hear that knocking sound? That's the goddamn dog at my damn door. I'm gonna run her off. Tell her to go lay down in the fucking chair.
I've also learned when visiting Lulu, don't knock.
So you quickly open the door and you yell at the dog and scare the crap out of him. Of course, you'll have to clean up the poop.
I don't know if that works on dogs, but I can tell you that don't work on cats. Because when I was in the trailer, every morning, Gothard's cat, and yes, Gothard's cat, as in Gothard fed that cat. Gothard went to the shelter and got that cat. Gothard took care of that cat. Gothard's cat, every morning, would meow at my door. Our rooms are on opposite sides of the trailer. So over on that side of the trailer is the guy that has access to the food and feeds the cat every day. Over on my side of the trailer was the door to me, who never did a thing for this cat. And every morning, the cat would meow at me. And every morning, I'd open up the door and throw a glass of water in the cat's face and close the door.
You know what it was? You know what it is? The cat was trying to win you over.
Either this cat liked getting water glasses thrown at it, or I don't. Anyways,
the cat kept coming to you saying, "Feed me, feed me."
I don't have the food. That guy has the food. Meow at him. It's okay. Cat went off wandering around the neighborhood, never came back. Anyways, I'm sure the cat was fine.
And it was all your fault.
I didn't let the cat out. Gothard let the cat out. Talk to him.
And you ran away. Oh, wow. Gators killed the cat.
I did not kill the cat.
Oh, no.
I didn't kill that cat.
You made it depressed. It committed suicide.
No, the only cat I could take credit for was the cat that he had after that cat. And he went away on a trip for a long weekend. And Gothard and his family always had the policy of let the cat out when it wants to go out, let the cat in when it wants to come in. And so the cat didn't really like me. That cat didn't meow at my door. Cat kind of liked Gothard, didn't like me. But I fed the cat. I let the cat out. I yelled for the cat that night. Cat never came back.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. We got to raid someone, though. I don't know. Who's live? Who can we raid right now?
Oh, he killed 2 cats.
I did not kill 2 cats. I only killed 1 cat. I didn't kill that cat. Cat, what? The cat knew. That cat knew how to live on the
Just
street.
raid someone. Raid.
I don't know any of these people.
Just pick one.
Numb the Geek.
Who?
He's on.
Oh, Ray Rachel
Numb
just connected.
the Geek.
No, don't do Ray Rachel.
Oh, we like Ray Rachel. I'm friends with Ray Rachel.
No.
She's not here. Go to Numb the Geek.
I don't know Numb the Geek. Who's this?
This is how you learn about these people.
Just give someone who has a low number The 5 people.
Okay, all right. Well, when I type in twitch.tv/numb the geek, it says that content is unavailable. Is that NUMBTHEGEEK?
KNUMB.
Oh.
Oh my god, just fucking fix it.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Who's Numb the Geek? I don't know who this is. Whatever. I'm rating Ray.
Good night.
It's an excellent string player. Guitars, mandolins, that sort of thing.
We'll do that next time. Good night, everyone.
Pokimane? What is that?
What's what?
Pokimane.
Oh, she hasn't started yet. I just rated a starting soon screen.
Congratulations.
It's okay. It'll start soon.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right.
I'm going.
Ooh,
I'm hungry.
Thank you, everyone.
Ooh, I gotta turn my sausages over.
See ya.
Cooking sausages.
Venison got the last word with the sausages over comment. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey there.
Anyone but
making love. So come give me a hug, get into getting rough. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the X, get into taking drugs. I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, get into getting rough. When I pull up out front, you see the Benz on dub. When I roll 20 deep, it's 29s in the club. Niggas heard I fuck with Dre, now they wanna show me love. When you sell like Eminem and the hoes, they wanna fuck. But homie, ain't nothing changed, hold down, G's up. I see exhibit in the cut, they nigga roll that weed up. You watch how I move, you mistake before I play up here. Been hit with a few shells, but I don't walk with a limp. In the hood, in the lady saying 50, you hot. They like me, I want them to love me like they love pop. But holla in New York, the niggas to tell you I'm loco. When the plan is to put the rap game in the choke. I'm fully focused, man. My money on my mind, got a meal out the deal, and I'm still in the grind. Now shorty say she feeling my style, she feeling my flow. A girl from Wooded, they buy, and they ready to go. I'm in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the head sippy in the taking drugs. I'm in the having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, get into getting rough. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the head sippy in the taking drugs. I'm in the having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, get into getting rough. My flow, my show brought me to go. That brought me all my fancy things. My crib, my cars, my clothes, my jewels. Look, nigga, I done came up and I ain't changed. And you should love it way more than you hate it. Nigga, you mad? I thought that you be happy I made it. I'm that cat by the bar, toasting to the good life. You that faggot ass nigga tryna pull me back, right? My junk get the bumping in the club, it's on. I'm with my eyes at your bitch, if she smash, she gone. Hit the roof on fire, let the motherfucker burn. The talking about money, homie, I ain't concerned. I'ma tell you what banks for me, cause go ahead, switch the style up. If niggas hate to let them hate them, watch the money pile up. Or we can go upside the head with a bottle of bug. They know where we fucking be. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the X, so we into taking drugs. I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, get into getting rough. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the X, so we into taking drugs. I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug, get into getting rough. Don't try to act like you don't know where we be, neither, nigga. I'm in the club all the time, nigga. It's a problem, pop off, nigga. Jay and Beyonce was kissing. I was cooking 1,000 grams in my kitchen. My nose was telling Khalees I love you, boo. I was shining my 9. You know how I do. I got a fully loaded clip. I be on that shit. I got a fully loaded clip. I got a fully loaded clip. I be on that shit. Yeah, I got a fully loaded clip. No problem with me, no problem. It's all good. I ain't fresh out the hood. I'm still in the hood. Black rims, black Hemi, niggas see me when you see me. I appeared and disappeared with the heater like a genie. That party and bullshit and get your ass popped. Don't believe me, ask Fab, it got his ass shot. I'm in the cut like germs. I do dirt like worms. Smoke a weed, not sherm. Nigga, it's my turn. I fire on your ass, them hollow tips, burn, baby, burn. I'm screaming, fuck the cops. Ride around with my Glock. That's my pistol on my bitch, nigga, fuck that box. That's how Pete got knocked. That's a jewel I dropped. But you ain't peep that nigga, go ahead, repeat. You fully loaded.
Undercovers dressed as fiends, making so much money. Products moving fast. Put away the stash. As I sold the last bag, fucked around and got locked up. They won't let me out. They won't let me out. I'm locked up. They won't let me out. No, they won't let me out. I got locked up. They won't let me out. They won't let me, baby girl, I'm locked up. They won't let me out. No, they won't let me out.
Now that I'm locked up, I rep 2 sets, so I'ma ride or die and stay deep locked up. 2 toothbrushes up, whoever wanted with P. When I walk by, nigga get up, cause I'm locked up. They can't get me out. I smoke a stick of haze when they stress me out. Go and hit the bar when the Rex be out. Can't wait for the day when they let me out.
Visitation no longer comes by. Seems like they forgot about me. Commissary is getting empty. My cellmates eating food without me. Can't wait to get out and move forward with my life. Got a family that loves me and wants me to do right. But instead I'm here locked up. They won't let me out. They won't let me out. I'm locked up. They won't let me out. No. My nigga, I'm locked up. They won't let me out. Oh, they won't let me out.
the bigger things, y'all niggas, y'all know my style. Your wrist bling bling, my shit bling black. My pinky ring talk, it say 50, I'm sick.